The difference between President Trump and other presidents is his transparency. No political correctness, no talking out of both sides of his mouth, but instead a hard-nosed, what you see is what you get, successful negotiator. But no, rather than applaud him for that transparency, the president's haters would rather take him down, preferring to get in the way of our economic success and international strength. Their hatred of this man is so all-consuming that they would rather obstruct and resist, dooming us to failure because they do not like his transparency. Now, I want to be clear. It's not the transparency, but the hatred, so intense that puts us in danger. Hatred like this.
Today, the world is suffering from the real Donald Trump. Come on, let's go. What are we talking about? Let's clap for that. This idiot is the president. The guy is a fool. Come on. Our government today, with the prompting of our baby-in-chief, has in chief, I call him.
Did you notice how he had to read everything, that the only time this guy could lift his eyes off the page was to curse? And then there's Chelsea Handler, who just this week weaponized a person's alleged sexual preference by tweeting something aimed at President Trump and a Republican senator in that DACA meeting. It was so vile and homophobic that I won't lower myself to show it to you. And by the way, since when do sexual preferences matter to Hollywood? And Sean Penn. This week, he called the president an enemy of the state and an enemy of mankind. Somewhat screwed up, since he immortalized Hugo Chavez, the Venezuelan dictator, accused of so many human rights violations. Hey, Sean, when'd you stop beating your wife? That's a rhetorical question, of course. These Hollywood celebrities are so full of hate, they would rather our nation fail so that they can blame it on the president. These Hollywood hypocrites, now trying to be the voices of moral indignity, were complicit in their silence of the Harvey Weinstein casting couch and the sexual predatory behavior, the open secret in this den of iniquity. And by the way, what makes their opinions so valuable? These actors have little, if any, responsibility, liability, or consequence for their performances. They have a bloated sense of self-worth compared to us, who might be lucky enough to be at the same pay scale. Their megaphones are in no way commensurate with their morality or their contributions to society. We're real people, and real people in the real world do not get a redo. 20 takes every day to make something right. In short, actors are nothing more than people pretending to be other people. My own daughter took acting lessons for almost a decade. When at 16, she announced she did not want to act. Stunned, I said, why? She said, I don't want to say something that someone else wants me to say. I want the words that come out of my mouth to be mine. That from a 16-year-old. And yet these people were silent. These Hollywood hypocrites, when their own ideologue was in office. Where was their outrage when Barrack Obama was sending millions of dollars to Iran on unmarked pallets and unmarked planes for the release of terrorists? When this president on his last day in office gave $221 million to the PLO and then $4 million to Palestinians to study climate change? Where was their outrage when this administration, Obama's, thwarted a U.S. international drug operation called Project Cassandra, where Hezbollah, an arm of Iran, was engaging in drug trafficking to the United States and killing Americans, so that Obama could then dance with the devil in Iran and send them $150 billion? Where was Hollywood's outrage when the president allowed the sale of 20% of our uranium, used by others to make nuclear bombs, and Molly 99 for nuclear medical imaging, to be sold to the Russians, with a payback of hundreds of millions going to the Clintons? What was in it for Obama for his silence? And where was the outrage when Obama couldn't stop apologizing for America's alleged sins? Instead, our president, the man who improves our economy, reduces unemployment, brings the stock market to historic highs, passes tax reform already adding $2 million to our economy, building up the military, eliminates the individual mandate, and in spite of being an accused racist, has brought black unemployment, heightened under 8 years of an African-American president, to record lows. So to the actors and the haters out there, put a lid on it. Real people, not actors, not ideologues, elected Donald Trump president. Real people, the ones who only get one take to provide for their families. Your voices don't compare to the voices of the forgotten men and women who live a normal, hard-working life, who heard Donald Trump and figured they had nothing to lose after Barack Obama, took a chance and bought into his lack of political correctness and his transparency, and are now benefiting from it.